By definition, an antenna is a metal whip designed to receive and transmit radio signals within a given area.
It's BS in the Morning on KSLQ and Westplex 107.1.
I have a soul sister. Her name is Shelley.
Aw, you're so cute.
She's my soul sister.
Does that mean you're my soul brother?
That's right. We go down and we eat soul food together. You know, what is soul food? You know, they used to talk about, you don't even hear that anymore. You used to have people talk about, I got to get some soul food. What is soul food?
I don't think you can say it anymore.
You're probably right. It's one of the things. You can't say it. It's politically incorrect. Okay. We're off to the races this morning. Boy, it's going to be another weird day weather-wise. It's super humid right now. I show in some locations in the St. Louis area no rain, but in certain parts of St. Charles County, the humidity is 99%. It's like you can cut the air. You know, it's one of these things where, let's say your house is well air-conditioned, and, you know, and you got it down to like, 70 degrees, and you walk out the front door, and it almost feels like you're physically hit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
I do know what you're saying.
What is that? It's just, the minute you just step outside and it's just, oh, God. Anyway, at least it's not like Tuesday morning
where it takes your breath away.
Yeah, at least it's not like Tuesday morning where we've got like 14,000 inches of rain. Man, there's still all sorts of crazy stuff.
It almost filled my pool back up.
Oh, it's just.
I am not lying. I'll take a picture of it.
It's just so nutty. And I don't know, we won't mention until we get it confirmed, because it may or may happen. We may have one of our clients come on the air and tell how essentially the flooding has knocked him temporarily for a loop, but he's a tough, resilient dude, and he's coming back. And
yeah, he's pretty amazing.
And we're going to try to help him promote whatever we can, and maybe even some of our listeners can help him out. Who knows? Anyway, we'll talk about that. Talk about a lot of other things. I just started reading this article, and I don't want to start the show off on a buzzkill, but I found this fascinating.
But
it's a story about Andy Gibb. Remember Andy Gibb? He was the younger brother of the Bee Gees.
I do remember him.
Okay, get this. I'll read you the first couple sentences of this paragraph. In 1987, the disco sensation, who once had 6 hit records in the late 70s, declared bankruptcy and was reporting an annual income of less than $8,000. This guy was a superstar. Still, he determined the younger brother of the Bee Gees was planning his return to music. Barry Gibb even took his younger sibling to London, where they could collaborate once more. In early 1988, Andy moved to a carriage house on the property of his brother, Robin Gibb. He had signed a contract with Island Records. His future looked brighter. But anyway, he died at 30. According to Andy, was hospitalized 3 times complaining of chest and abdominal pains. On the evening of March 3rd, 1988, Andy collapsed on Robin's estate. He died the next morning of myocarditis, known as inflammation of the heart muscle. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's because of drug use. I believe that's what is
Andy Gibbs?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have people who drive, like especially with cocaine.
Well, that's what they did back then.
Yeah, I know. And cocaine has a nasty, nasty influence on many parts of your body, specifically your heart. And
it really does.
Because I've told you the story. My old boss, pig vomit, Kevin Matheny, died of a heart attack talking to the president of the company. Literally, he's one day the president of the company. He's working out in San Francisco. He's on the phone with his president of the company, who's in New York, and Kevin said, "Hold on a minute," which turned out to be his last words. He collapsed on the desk, dead. And the boss was like, the big dude in New York. This is the guy that owns, at this point in time, was the president, the CEO of Cumulus, which is a big, monstrous broadcasting company. He's going, Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? So he picks up his other phone on the desk, calls the front desk, the radio station out in San Francisco. Hey, I was talking to Kevin. He said, hold on a minute. I can hear that the phone's still on. The line's still, open. But Kevin's not talking to me. So they went back to his office. He's dead on his desk. And I'm not making fun of Kevin, but Kevin was Mr. Snowstorm, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, and that was sad because when I worked with him, talented guy, smart guy, went on to work at MTV, VH1, the whole bit, was Howard Stern's boss. If you watch the movie Private Parts, he's not necessarily named as Kevin Matheny. That's how Stern called him, pig vomit or pig, there's 2 terms he used, pig vomit or pig, I don't know, something, pig snort or something like that. Anyway, cocaine, man, I'm telling you, It's how I've gotten to be 87 by living the clean life. I'm sitting here this morning I have something different this morning. I ran out of Little Debbie's because the mouse got into my Little Debbie's here at the radio station. And I'm drinking my Mountain Dew, and I'm eating warmed up pizza. How about that?
That's about right.
How about that for breakfast?
That's the breakfast of a bachelor.
I got a pizza last night that I didn't finish. Matter of fact, I only ate like half of it. Once again, pizzas are getting expensive. I mean, even like there's this thing like last night. There's an ad. Pizza Hut. Hey, 2 pizza. Only $6.99. Well, you have to buy 2 of them. Okay. When you're by yourself, unless you're like Joe Blimp, I can't put down 2 pizzas. Now, back in my earlier days, when I weighed 310 pounds, I could put down 2 pizzas. Now that I'm slim and trim and I weigh 98 pounds, I can't do that anymore.
98 pounds, of course.
Anyway, lots of stuff going on in the news. We talked about this a couple minutes ago about the flooding. Metrolink, do you know this deal? Metrolink is still shut down in spots. They say it might take 2 weeks to get it totally back up and running again.
Really?
Yeah, because a couple of the stations flooded. I think it's the Central West End one, which is sort of down in a gulch there. Some of the Metrolink stations, the one like at Washington University, is that the Forsyth station is down in a hole, right there next to the old famous bar right there in Clayton, U City. And then
yes, on Forsyth.
And I read somewhere where the Delmar Loop station went under. I'm thinking to myself, that one's not down in a hole. That one's up high. The Central West End one, the Bolivar, once again, is down in a hole. Because it's like, down there low. I don't know. I mean, and once again, think about the people that rely on that to work every day. That's the problem with mass transit. If you got a job, like let's say you're one of the new people, like for example, there are people that moved into Clayton, and there's that apartment complex there. I guess that's Brentwood right there on Highway 40, just south of, there's a big parking garage you can park in. I believe there's an apartment complex there, like high-rise apartment complex. Some of those people moved there so they could literally not have a car. They can walk to a lot of different places around there. They can walk out of their apartment, walk down to the Metrolink station, which is right there at, south of Brentwood, south of 40 in Brentwood. I guess either Brentwood or Richmond Heights. Can't remember exactly where that's at. Anyway, they can jump on the Metrolink and go downtown. Not anymore. Like you're sort of screwed right now. What do you do? Do you call Uber?
You get on a bus.
Well, they said the buses are screwed up too because they don't have enough bus drivers. And remember I don't know what happened. They were going on strike or something like that. It's going like, okay, whatever. I would imagine driving a bus is no fun. I mean, to me, the one it's the worst one is being the Metrolink driver. That's got to be a boring job because you're not even steering. You're just standing there. You're just sitting there, and you're pushing.
By no one.
Yeah, you're sitting there in your little cubicle
by
up
yourself,
there.
With your little nook.
Glass thing. And you're pushing the one pedal for the accelerator, one pedal for the brake. By the way, I found this fascinating. There are electric cars coming out with what they call one pedal operation. You know what I'm talking about?
What, like a go-kart where you push on and then it goes and then you take your foot off and then it stops?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of the new General Motors cars have that to the point where
whatever.
You can set it up on the dashboard. It's, once again, it's to the point where, they talk about distracted driving. Have you seen some of the displays in some of these newer electric vehicles? It's
no, I haven't seen any new electric vehicles.
Oh my God, talking about distracted driving. I mean, there's once again, it's not like just like a display. There's pages you page through. It's sort of like on a tablet. In other words, I don't want that page. I want that page. I want that page. And you're supposedly driving doing this kind of stuff. And anyway, the way you set this up is you set it up for one pedal driving, and then there's variations. So in other words, the way it works is, and I saw the video. This is sort of interesting. You push down the accelerator pedal, whatever they call it, the rheostat, the potentiometer, whatever the goofy thing is. It's not the gas pedal anymore. You push down the accelerator, and let's say you go up to 60 miles an hour. Okay, when you let off the accelerator, the brakes come on. And depending upon how you have it set up, it's either minor braking, little bit, faster braking, moderate braking, heavy braking, emergency stop braking. You can set that up on the thing. And the reason they're talking about this, oh, it's so great because it's regenerative braking. You know what that is? Regenerative. All right, let me try to say it. Regenerative braking. You know what that is?
I do not.
The brakes, when you put on the brakes actually charge your batteries.
Huh, that's interesting.
Because what happened?
But do you know the fault that I see with this?
that their cars are $200,000.
Well, there's that.
Besides that,
But, I mean, natural instinct, because we've had the cars that we've had for so long, is the first thing you want to do when you're coming to somebody you're almost going to hit, is slam on the brakes.
Well, see, and good thing you brought that up, because there was another fatal accident just the other day, another Tesla. Man, if you saw this one happen a couple weeks ago, this one was really bizarre. This Tesla car was on full auto, and I don't know if the people were sleeping or what they're doing, and they were behind a tractor trailer, and they were going along the interstate, and for some reason, I think it was at a truck stop or a rest stop or like a weight scale or something like that, the Tesla followed the tractor trailer off the highway, off the interstate. And when the tractor trailer stopped, the Tesla didn't, and went right underneath the back of the tractor trailer, and just chopped the people in half. I mean, bang, killed instantly. And the thing never hit the brakes. It's going like, and they're going like, whoa, we don't know why. I'm going like, okay, maybe this.
It probably has to do something with that, the thing that locks in the weighing stations for these tractor trailers.
They don't know. See, and that's a good point, because if you know the way that works now, they've got, I don't know what they call that. They got if you go out there near Forestel on 70, they got the things that hang out over the interstate, which essentially is like, was that the fast pass or the free pass or the pre-pass or something like that. And essentially what it does is it communicates back and forth between, there's a computer with like a transponder in the tractor trailer. It communicates back and forth with, the highway patrol, and boom, boom, boom. They don't have to get up. They don't have to go to the weight scales. But you may be right. It could be. See, the thing that scares me about this is
that's the only reason why it would sit there, and it have to be an electronical thing. Electronical, is that technical?
Yeah, it's very technical.
It did. I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of.
See, once again,
that would lock that car into that trailer.
You know me. I'm a techno geek. I love technology.
You are a nerd.
But by the same point, I'm not what they call the leading edge, or I refer to it as the bleeding edge of technology. I mean, technology gets way ahead of us sometimes, and the technology...
And we marvel at our own magnificence.
But then it's not necessarily refined. There's still weird glitches and stuff like that. I mean, look at the crazy thing what happened with the Boeing 737. That was essentially, fancy schmancy software that didn't work quite right, I mean, and once again, everything's like, I'm getting to the point where I think maybe because I'm like pushing 90 now, when you get up like, Joe Biden, he's one of my younger people that I know. Anyway, when you get to that age, it's like, okay, hey, remember way back when we had a horse and we had this thing called a buggy whip, and if we wanted to speed up, we just whip that horse. Get moving. That's sort of like my background, But how
do you figure?
Because I'm an old guy.
Oh, okay. That's how you made the correlation.
I mean, when I went to school, I had to walk 42 miles uphill both ways in a snowstorm. And I lived in Miami. Talk about climate change. Things have changed since when I was a kid. Miami used to be like, 10 feet of snow a year. Now look at it. It's nothing.
Miami used to be friendly as well.
It's nothing but sun and fun. I mean, man, I wish, my parents, we owned, we had a orange grove in downtown Miami. We had a 50-acre orange grove in downtown Miami. Boy, I wish we would have kept that. Folks, remember the name of the show, BS.Show. That's what it is. It's 6:28. It is BS.Show. That's the song that when you see Shelley walking down the beach, that's the song. Hold on a minute. I got problems here. Why is it every morning at like 7:30 we get disconnected?
I don't know.
Is that weird or what?
Yeah, but go back to me walking on the beach. Go ahead. Feel free.
That's the song
Continue.
where Shelley's walking down the beach. She's the girl from Ipanema.
I was thinking that same thing.
That's right. She's that girl. She's that girl. Right?
I am that girl. Ha.
Hold on a minute.
I can't even say it with a straight
I'm
face.
signing into something. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I get in.
Do what?
I'm signing into something.
Is it a porn site?
No. Okay, never mind. I'm good. Okay. I have to look at something here. I have to pull up something I'm working on. Anyway, back to business. We're on the radio talking.
We are on the radio. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Super humid this morning, so when you go outside, ladies, if you don't have your dew just right, don't worry about it, because when you walk outside, it's going to go all to hell anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much will. You will melt today,
right.
just by the humidity.
So just, get out of the shower, towel dry it, blow dry it, and you're good, right? None of that curler stuff, none of the other kind of stuff, no foo-foo stuff, no,
Don't even bother to curl it, ladies.
Do women use curlers anymore?
They do.
But not like they used to, right?
No.
Because
yes, they do.
You used to go to the store sometimes, and the women would be in there with their curlers,
Yeah, they're hot rollers.
Right. You don't see that anymore.
No, but there are people that still use them.
Yeah, but they don't go out in public anymore, right? Because you know what?
But you know what? It wouldn't really be a thing now.
Well, in Ladue,
back then they cared about what they looked like before they walked out the door. Now that's not the case.
No. They passed a law about that in Ladue. Do you know that?
No.
I have a friend of mine who was driving to work one morning, and she cut through Ladue, and she had curlers in her hair, and all of a sudden she sees the cherries and berries behind her. Woo! Police officer pulls her over. Ma'am, license, registration, and your hairdresser's name? And she says, my hairdresser's name? Yeah, we're going to have to fine her as well, too. Why fine my hairdresser? Didn't you realize that it's against the law to be in curlers in Ladue? Can't be out in public. She got a ticket for that.
They used to have a commercial. I think it was for Dippity Doo, actually.
Dippity Doo. Now you're dating yourself.
Yeah. But really, it's like they actually had a jingle for it.
Do the younger listeners out there going, what's she talking about? What's Dippity Doo? Do they still make it? Let me see.
It's probably not good for you, so they probably stopped making it.
Probably has dioxin in it or something like.
And excuse me, that's funny, but it would actually outdo the gels and the creams and the hair bonding stuff today.
According to this, you can still get it.
Can you?
Yeah, Dippity Doo.
That stuff is
original hair gel.
Yes.
And they have the double X extreme hold.
Yes. And they mean that. That stuff really, really works.
Here's the question: is Dippity Doo still around? It was the perfect hair product for the hairstyles of the 90s. Luckily, my hair has changed since then, but so has Dippity Doo's product range. Their classic gels are still available, but they are rounded out their line with a new series of texturizers.
Uh-huh.
So it's, a matter of fact, they have it for. It's called. They show this dude, this like
with a man bun.
Well, no, he's got the hair. You know how like some of the dudes wear their hair like sort of up, straight up, looks like they just got electrocuted. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's called Dippity Doo for Men, the Texture Hair Series, and it's called
Dippity Dude.
Yeah, that's what it should be. It's called, and get this, it's called Texture Paste. Now, would you want to use paste in your hair?
Well, it's better than Dippity Doo hair gel.
You can buy it at Wally World.
Because it's not a gel. Well, it is a gel, but then it dries, and then it's like, I don't know.
Okay, here's
what's that stuff that melamine? Huh?
Melamine? Isn't that like what you have in your skin? Or that's melanin or whatever.
No, that's melanoma.
No. What is?
Melamine is that they used to make cups and plates out of it.
No, but isn't melanin what you have in your skin that gives you your darkness or lightness? Isn't that the whole?
Melatonin.
Is that what it is?
No. Melatonin is what you take to sleep.
No. There's something that's in your skin that makes your like you're either you're pasty white, like like the girls from Norway,
like my legs,
are like you're dark, like the gal from Ipanema. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm looking at it right here.
It's like my arms will be a nice golden color by the end of the summer. My legs are as white as the trim on my doors.
Okay, Dippity Doo Girls with Curls. You can buy that. It's $12. And the Dippity Doo Paste, which is the texture hair series for men, is $16.56.
And I bet that stuff works.
And then they have Dippity Doo Men 3-to-1 Pomade, whatever that is. They have Dippity Doo Girls with Curls Enhancing Mousse. Dippity Doo with Curls Enhancing Watermelon. What in the world? Why would you put watermelon in your hair?
Oh, it doesn't say that.
It says right there.
Oh, it does not.
Here, I'll do a screenshot of this and I'll send it to you. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, because I'm from Missouri.
It's at Wally World. It says Dippity Doo Girls with Curls Enhancing Watermelon. That's what it says. Hold it. Let me plug in here. Let me. This is the first time I've tried this. We're gonna play. I've never done this before. This is my thing I worked on. Let's see if it's going to work. Hold on. I'm going to turn this on, see if I can get this to play. Hold on. Let's see if it's going to work.
Dippity-doo.
You,
Dippity-doo.
for setting your hair.
Dippity-doo.
Rollers,
Dippity-doo.
easy, neat.
Dippity-doo.
No slips, no drips.
Dippity-doo. Dippity-doo. Dippity-doo.
Real body,
Dippity-doo.
holes and holes.
Dippity-doo.
You,
For you.
Wow. Did they make good commercials back in the day or what? And it's got this gal who's putting the stuff in her hair at the commercials, and they're going dippity doo, and he's going dippity doo, and then at the end of it, it looks sort of like what's her name, Mary Tyler Moore. Let me look at this again. It looks just like her.
It's about her time frame.
Let me look at the video one more time. This audio's going to play.
Dippity-doo.
you,
Dippity-doo.
for setting your hair.
Dippity-doo.
Rollers,
Dippity-doo.
Man, if that isn't Mary Tyler Moore, it's her clone. I'm telling you.
Dippity-doo.
It's got to be her clone. I mean, it looks
I
just
don't know,
like her.
but I don't remember that jingle. That's not the jingle I remember.
You don't remember here? I'm trying to. Let me see.
I remember when they used to shame you on
Dippity-doo.
national
for
television.
setting your hair.
Dippity-doo.
How would they shame you on national television?
Curlers in your hair? Shame on you.
I remember that one, right? What
Do you
is-
remember that?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
and
I do.
then they look like horrible. Now we're like, we don't even shame people if they walk out of their house naked.
Well,
It's like, pull up your pants, man.
It's like being on Southwest Airlines. It's like, can you wear any less and ugly clothes than when you're on the plane?
Yes.
Remember back in
It's
the day.
like the Walmart of the air.
Remember back in the day, people used to get dressed up. I mean, if you
They
go,
really did. I remember that. I used to do that.
If you
I
go-
still do, actually.
well, if you go look at pictures of people at the airport in the 50s and 60s, the men are all in suits and ties with hats, and the
Yes,
women have,
of course.
have their Sunday best on. They're in the heels and the whole bit. Now it's like, okay, pajamas, flip flops. That look like somebody threw them. It looked like somebody threw them out of
Yes,
the window going down a highway.
They just
and somebody else
threw them away.
Yeah, somebody else picked them up. And the worst part of it is, have you seen this? And I have to tell you, I'm not a foot person. I don't wear, I'm like Mr. Anti-Flip-Flop because first off, I told you the goofy story about these guys. It used to be you watch these movies, like these videos of these guys working in plants like in Bangkok or something like that. And they'd be in a wife beater, cut off shorts and flip-flops, and they'd be welding and stuff like that. I'm going like,
Yes.
okay, OSHA violation of the United States. I told you about a couple of these guys that I see these videos on. These guys want these two brothers that own this auto body shop. They're in the shop walking around in flip flops. I told you the story about how they went to one of the auto auctions. They bought a car at one of the the insurance auctions, Coparts. And when they got to the lot, the guys wouldn't load the car because they didn't have proper footwear on. They had flip flops on. I'm going like, guys, give me.
Because you have to have your toes covered.
I get it.
Let alone steel-toed boots.
I get it. And I'm going like, okay, it's to the point where, to me, like, I have 3 pair of steel-toed boots because of the fact that I'm sort of a klutz and I've broken toes before by dropping stuff on my toes. So I have steel-toe boots. And it's to the point where it's like,
I do too.
I don't get it. I mean, why would you? And once again, I saw a video the other guy, another American guy, a YouTube guy, in his shop. And once again, he has a commercial auto body shop. He's got a grinder. He's grinding and he's arc welding with flip-flops on. I'm going like...
And jorts.
Yeah, I'm going like, don't the little sparks hurt your little toesy-woesy when they hit?
Toesy-woesy?
I mean, don't you go like, oh my God, I just dropped...
Your little toesy-woesy.
I just dropped molten metal on my toes. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, and then they catch your Donald Trump hair on your toe.
Yes, right. Because I've got 2 different toes. I've told this story before. I have 2 different big toes. And because of the fact when I was a baby, I almost had my big toe amputated. But that's a whole nother weird story. That's from my mom. Yes, I almost had my big toe amputated. But I tried to get my little toe amputated about 2 or 3 years ago, and they wouldn't do it.
Because it's silly.
No, I broke it again. And it's just like all screwed up. And I'm going like, okay, I don't even need it anymore. I mean, going, I just cut it off. No, they wouldn't do it. How come
With good reason.
How come I can go to a place and get piercings and things like that, but I can't go to a doctor and get my toe amputated? How come I can't?
Because you wouldn't be able to level yourself, Brad.
Oh, bull poop. It's my little toe. I mean,
Again,
I can't.
It's there for a reason.
Shelley,
and that's to level you out.
Have you seen the way I walk already?
Do you want to be like a geisha girl where everybody's got to carry you?
Yes, I do.
Because they've shrunken your feet?
I want to be like a geisha girl. That's when,
Yes, I know you
I want to be in that little kimono, you know what I mean? Because real men wear kimonos. Didn't you know that?
I missed that one.
Yeah, that's new. That's something new.
That's new.
Man, you know what? I heard you're gonna hate this, and I'm not gonna talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. I heard Charlie Kirk on the air the other day talking about his new book.
I don't know who that is.
He's this guy, young guy. He's like a super right-wing political dude. And he's got this organization he's called Turning Point USA, and he's been in the news the last couple of days because he's got this big fight going on with the women on The View, which we'll talk about it next break. But
everybody has a fight with the women on The View.
Well, he won this one because they had to issue a retraction of something they said and he won this battle. It's pretty funny.
Was it Whoopi?
Well, it was funny. I can't remember which one's which. They move around all the time. Whoopi's one of the every time the show's on, she's there. But they rotate some of the other people. You know what I mean? They have this. Remember they had McCain.
Sharon Osbourne.
Well, they had McCain on there for a while. John McCain's daughter. That kind of stuff. Anyway, he's written this new book, and you will not like it.
Me personally, or me as a woman, or
well,
what?
He's reinforced what I say about dropping out of college, about dropping out of high school, and not going to college.
Let it go. Let's not talk about it today.
And
I'm having a good day. You
He's
don't want to talk about it tomorrow either, because tomorrow's
got
Friday and it's a special day, and we don't need to sit there and bring all that brouhaha up on a weekend day.
Isn't that the new drink at Starbucks? Brouhaha.
Brouhaha.
Okay, it is.
You're funny.
It is 6:48. It's BS.Show. I'm Brad. She's Shelley. Once again, one of my favorite songs. What a great song that is.
From a much simpler time.
And a great video. Once again, it's the perfect ADD video like I like to watch. 4 minutes and you see a complete movie. You don't need to go to the stinking movie theater and sit there for 2 hours and munch on popcorn. Just watch that thing. In 4 minutes, you see a complete movie. I don't even know it's 4 minutes. Probably 3 minutes and 30 seconds or somewhere. How long was that song? It was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I was almost exactly right. So 3 minutes, a whole movie in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Actually, the video is a little bit longer than the song because it starts out without the music. So the video is like 4 minutes. I'm telling you, lots of stuff to talk about. Next hour, I'm going to tell you about the guy that every woman wants to marry who's out in Wentzville.
Who's that?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's single, but I'm about 99% sure after I tell you what he's in the news for.
What is it?
We'll talk about it next hour.
No, tell me.
Let's put it this way. He's an over-the-top sports fan, specifically an over-the-top blues fan. He's a little bit out of control. And now he's complaining, which is an interesting story. But anyway, we'll talk about it next hour. Only a couple more days to the election Tuesday. You hear all the more ads on the station. Man, political ads. I love them. I love political ads. You know, how would you feel if you were Mike Carter and spent $500,000 of your own money and you don't get elected? I mean, how would you feel? The dude spent $500,000 out of his own pocket to get elected to a job that pays $36,000 a year. What if he doesn't make it next week? Is that like drive your car off a cliff time? You know what I mean? Like, is that like?
I don't know.
I mean,
it would be because he didn't appeal to the female voter.
Well, now think about that for a minute. If you spent, it's like Pritzker, you know, governor of Illinois. It's almost like Trump. Although it's funny, Trump talks about he's going to spend his own money. He didn't spend that much of his own money on the presidential election in 2016 or 2020. But Mike Carter spent $500,000, $500,000. Now, you know what? His money, you can do whatever the hell he wants with it. But think about that. Think about what $500,000 would have done to some of the charities we deal with. If he would have given, instead of running for office, he just would have written a check, $500,000 to like, what was the one we had on June that had the big fundraiser? St. Joachim and Ann.
Yeah, St. Joachim and Ann.
Right. If he just wrote them a $500,000 check. Hey, guys, you do lots of good in the community. Here's your $500,000.
I could think a handful off that are local charities that, you know, even a little money would make a big difference.
We talked about how crazy some of these state elections have gotten. Remember I told you
they're
that
mean. They're mean and hateful. I don't like that.
Like Greitens, the majority of the money he's getting is from out of state. But and then I read something the other day that talked about that Beto O'Rourke, like 72% of the money that he's getting is from out of the state. Tracy, what's her name? Stacey Abrams down in Georgia, who's running for governor. It's like 92%. I read this number. I thought to myself, this can't be right. 92% of the money she's getting is not from people in Georgia. Now think about that for a minute.
Who is it from? Her political affiliation party?
Predominantly from the coasts. It's from California, you know, Oregon, state of Washington, and then the East Coast. You know, all up and down, pretty much from like Virginia all the way up into Maine. It's all, you know, and once again, it's
why?
Because they want a Democrat. They want a Democrat, you know, governor. Now, what's interesting was,
got it. Okay.
you know how
that's what it's about.
You know how when Greitens was running for governor the first time around, and somebody discovered that he bought the. Did you know the story about the domain name he bought? You think I buy domain names? You know the domain name he bought like back in 2008.
What?
EricGreitensForPresident.com.
That's about right. He is a Navy SEAL. Did you hear that?
I didn't know that. No, but the point being, there's this article about Stacey Abrams and they're saying that she's committed the ultimate sin. Oh, you know what? I just realized it's past 7 o'clock. I blew past my top of the hour. Let's talk about next break. Okay, if my computer will work. You know what? Damn it. Let me see if I can get it to go here. Did I just say that again?
Are you allowed to say that? Hoover, damn it.
Hoover, damn it. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to get the party started, but what's Shelley doing?
I'm here fidgeting.
That's all she's doing. She's not doing.
I do fidget.
Oh, what'd you say? Oh.
It's not going to happen, Brad.
What did you say? Oh.
No, I'm here fidgeting. This is why I turned my pot down. I had my pot turned down.
Shelley, I resigned so that I could come to America and be with you. For you, I will even comb my hair. Can I live in your basement?
Your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
Oh.
Okay, you're so funny. But you're funny, haha, and funny peculiar.
Or one of her most favorite sayings.
Because just like pickle juice, it just sits there and soaks into the bun.
Yeah. And you know where Shelley was born? Shelley was born in New York City.
New York City!
Yes, can you believe that? I'm sorry I had to play it.
No, I've never actually been there.
Really?
I don't know if I want to go, but I do think I do.
Well, you know what? There's 3 places you should go. You know what those 3 places are?
What?
Russia.
It's funny that you. Well, it's not funny that you say that, but
it's peculiar.
I actually would like to go to Russia.
Really? You and Bernie Sanders
to see. Yeah. would.
Do you know Bernie Sanders, when he got married to his wife, they went to Russia on their honeymoon? I mean, think about that for a minute. Hey, honey,
Politico to the core.
let's get married and go to Russia. Oh, wow, that's so romantic. Oh, they have such beautiful, what do they have in Russia? I don't know, but it sounds fun. Let's go to Russia for our honeymoon. I mean, there are women who, if the guy proposed to him and said, honey, will you take this ring and marry me? And she go, oh, yes, I will. And we'll get married, and then we're going to go to Russia on our honeymoon. Here's the ring back, dude. I'm not going to Russia on my honeymoon. You can go. I'm not going. We'll go in there in the winter. It's really nice in the winter. There's a place called Siberia. You'll love it. Yeah, right.
I would. I would like to go to Russia.
You know, the place I would love to go, and you can't go there anymore, is Australia.
Why can't you go to Australia?
They still got it locked down. You can't get in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, here's what's bizarre. In the United States, we got this border, and people are just pouring into our country. In Australia, you don't get in. I mean, you just don't get in, mainly because they're a big old monster island. It's not like, you know, it's one big old monster island country. But if you go, I think it's to the point where you are not allowed in Australia unless you're coming back, unless you're an Australian citizen. And then if you're coming back, you still have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine before you go out in the general population. It's just bizarre.
Well, I can see that.
See, you know what's crazy about Australia?
What?
I don't know if you know the history of Australia.
I would like to go to Australia as well.
Australia was, you know, colonized by the Brits when they were like the United Kingdom, the British Empire, when they ruled the world. Oh, Britannia rules the world, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, and they used it as their penal colony. If you did something bad, they sent you to Australia. Now, once again, it has
I thought they sent you to Siberia.
No, that's the Russians. Okay. Anyway, so if you're a bad person, you're thrown in jail, and then they put you on a ship, and maybe the ship sunk. But if you made it, you went down to Australia. Okay. Now keep in mind, Australia has this reputation of being very tough. You know, Crocodile Dundee guys live out, and I mean, it's a bunch of wimps now. I mean, they, like, for example, their government is like Mr. and Mrs. Nitpick. You can't do this, you can't do that. You can't wear flip-flops on Tuesday. You can't do blah, blah,
Sounds
blah,
like
blah, blah.
California.
Yeah, it's turned into this crazy, weird country where they took all the guns away from everybody. Nobody has any guns. You can't think about that for a minute. Crocodile Dundee, he's walking around in the outback with his rifle. Not anymore. Can't have a gun. Guns are illegal in Australia for personal use. Can't have a gun. Do you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, illegal. They confiscated all of them. And if you don't, if you didn't give your gun up, they find your gun, you get thrown in jail. Matter of fact, now when you get thrown in jail, they take you to London, and because it's torture now in London. They reversed it.
Yeah.
They reversed it.
No sunshine.
Yes, right.
It's dark and gloomy.
Right. Foggy all the time. Right. And you got all that stupid fish and
it's
chip.
like living in Seattle.
And the food sucks. How many places in St. Louis, do we have? Like, we have the Hill. Do we have any place in St. Louis where you can get English food? No, because it sucks.
What, crumpets?
No, nobody says that. Nobody sells it. You got all sorts of, different areas of the St. Louis metro area where they serve, like even in St. Charles County, you got areas where they got a lot of, a lot of Mexican kind of food, like your place right
Thai.
there, like down on Mid Rivers Mall. What's your GF's lady's name? Lachata, what's her name?
Oh, Leticia.
Right. She's got lachata, good Mexican food. Find me a place in the St. Louis area, anywhere. I don't care what county it's in. It could be in Jefferson County, Franklin County, Warren County, St. Louis County, St. Charles County. Find me a place that serves great English food. There is none because the food sucks. That's all there is to it. And by the way, have you heard this crazy weird deal with Kansas City barbecue? You know what the big thing at Kansas City is?
I'm sorry?
The big thing.
I didn't hear what you said, sir. I'm sorry.
Big thing in Kansas City barbecue. They've got this new craze in Kansas City barbecue. They cover the meat with mayonnaise and then they barbecue it.
Ew.
Does that sound like Yuckaville or what?
Yeah.
I'm going like.
My husband would like it because he's a mayonnaise freak. But
I'm going like.
No.
Who would eat that?
And anything that says, "Oh, a nice aioli," no.
So,
no.
Years ago, this is this is a stupid story, but I thought this was sort of funny. Years ago, I was going to a convention in Orlando, Florida, and I ran into, believe it or not, my brother's boss on the plane, Smokey Rivers. His real name was Fred Flanzer, believe it or not. Fred Flanzer, his real name. Smokey Rivers, that was his air name. So him and I getting off the plane in Orlando, we're like a couple rows apart. And I go, hey, Smokey, you had dinner tonight? No, let's go eat dinner. So we find this place right outside the airport. And we go into the airport. Go into this restaurant. And the lady comes over to us and she goes, hey, I want you guys to know we have the best St. Louis barbecue anywhere in the country. And Smokey and I look at each other and goes, and we're sort of like, okay, St. Louis barbecue. And so we're not playing with the girl. We're going like, St. Louis barbecue? What's that? Oh my God, everybody in St. Louis loves St. Louis barbecue. Okay, Shelley, what is St. Louis barbecue?
I think it's a different kind of cut of the meat.
But once again, if you asked,
it's like the meat is.
But once again,
I don't know, Brad.
If you say St. Louis pizza, it's Emo's. It's the flat little thing with Provel cheese, right?
Yes.
If you say toasted ravioli, everybody knows what that is. If you say pork steaks, everybody in St. Louis knows what that is. If you say St. Louis barbecue, people go, oh, what is that? What is St. Louis barbecue?
What about cashew chicken?
That's
Springfield.
So she's going like, oh my God, people in St. Louis love this barbecue. So Smokey and I look at each other and they go, really? It's there's all, and she goes on, there's all sorts of restaurants in St. Louis that specialize in St. Louis barbecue. So Smokey looks at her and goes, you know where we're from? And she goes, no, St. Louis. And she says, well, isn't St. Louis barbecue big? He says, I have no idea what St. Louis barbecue is. Well, you must not live there. It's so funny because I'm thinking to myself, some chef probably, hey, I'll put spices on this and we'll put a little bit of jalapeno juice or something like that and we'll call it St. Louis barbecue. You know what I mean? They just
No, St. Louis barbecue is sweet.
No, they just made it up. That's what I'm saying. Somebody in Orlando decided, hey, we're just going to call this St. Louis barbecue. It's like, for example,
St. Louis barbecue is a thing, though.
It is not.
It is too.
Okay,
Brad.
if I were to go out in the street this afternoon and walk up to 100 people and say, "Hey, St. Louis style barbecue, what is that?" I don't think I'd get the same answer twice. I think some people say, "Oh, that's like bandanas." Okay, thank you.
I double dog dare you.
Hold on a minute. Somebody's texting me. The smartest woman in the world says KC does not put mayo on their meat. I heard it yesterday. They said this is the big trend in Kansas City. You cover the meat with mayo and then you barbecue it. Okay.
And St. Louis barbecue is a thing.
But like, for example, it came out now. There's Detroit style pizza. Okay, what's Detroit style pizza? You know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Calzone.
No, because and like, for example, Chicago style pizza. Okay, what's Chicago style pizza?
That's that extra thick crust and bunch of layers of food.
Right. Like,
and ingredients.
Okay, so now what's interesting is when you go to Bandanas, what kind of barbecue is that? Because it doesn't have any sauce on it.
That's dry rub.
But where's that from? Is that St. Louis barbecue?
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. But I know it's a thing.
Okay. Is Sugar Fire, which, once again, Shelley says, oh, just wait a couple minutes. They're going to spend a lot of advertising on the station with us.
You know what? You need to stop right now.
That's been 5 years
right
Shelley's been
minute.
saying this. Shelley keeps talking,
not listening to
everything out of her mouth. Sugar Fire, Sugar Fire, Sugar Fire, Sugar Fire. Hey, Shelley, how much money they've spent with this? Well, nothing.
Brad?
Okay, keep going. Okay, so, is Sugar Fire, is that St. Louis barbecue? Is Pappy's St. Louis barbecue? So what is
where?
Pappy's? You ever heard of Pappy's before? It was down the city. There's a new one out there in St. Peter's. Matter of fact, I think they got flooded. I mean, God, that whole area there on the north side of 70. Oh my God! Did you see pictures of the Quick Trip, the Quickie Mart right there at 70 in Mid Rivers? It's like
Quick Trip.
Yeah, 4 feet of water.
Are you kidding? Did downtown St. Peter's flood as well?
Yep. Downtown St. Peter's got flooded big time. Old
really?
Town. Oh yeah, terrible. There's a picture. I saw a picture the other day. Somebody standing like, I don't know where they were, but they were shooting down Main Street, and you saw the signs from QT. Like, they got, if you go in that back entrance, they got the truck scale. The truck scale sign, like, is almost totally underwater. Then there's a restaurant right behind QT, like something like the Southside Grill or something like that. And then there's the used car lot that's across the street that's on the south side of Main Street. It's between Main Street and I-70. Cars are all underwater. Yeah, downtown St. Peter's went underwater. Which is sad.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a shame.
Yeah, because remember 70 was closed at Mid-Rivers.
They have the best fried chicken there.
Well, the place got flooded. Unless they're going to be bad. By the way, what's the status? Because I need to bug out a little early. Are we having our interview or not? Is that not going to happen?
No, not today.
Okay, not today. Okay, so I know how to plan accordingly then. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they contacted you, no interview then?
Correct.
We have one of our sponsors, and even if he wasn't one of our sponsors, we would do our best to help him out.
Because he has a family-owned business.
Right.
He is a true small business.
Right.
And he employs quite a few people for being a small business.
And his business
he even made sure that his people got paid during the winter.
Right. And he got his butt kicked with the storm. And once again, I think he's probably kidding, but I told him I would go to work for him, which I would, because I enjoy what he does. We won't say what he does. But, if he called me up at 8 o'clock this morning, hey, Brad, I'll take you up. Can you be at my place at 10? Dude, be there. I'll be ready to roll. I would. I'd do that in New York minute. And he wouldn't even have to pay me. I'd just get a kick out of doing that all day long because I love doing that. Now, you know how it is. I'd probably do it all day long and I wouldn't want to do it anymore. If I did it for a while, it's no fun anymore. Because it's fun when you do it, like once a week like I do it or a couple times a week or stuff like that. Anyway, we won't say what we're doing. People are going, what is it that you're doing? Can't say. It's a secret.
It is a secret.
But yeah, Old Town St. Peter's just got nailed.
It sure did.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad. And because
it really is,
because
actually.
There's that creek that runs through there. Remember, they put that big pumping station there. You can see it right on I-70. It's right in front of the appliance repair parts. If you go in Weston 70, you cross under Mid-Rivers, and then off to your right is the Travers Auto Group, which was the used car lot that got flooded. And then, there's the...
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it got nailed. I mean, there's cars sitting in, some of the cars look like they're up to almost to the top, like some of the regular cars, not the SUVs. Looks like, the water is way over the top of the doors, to the point where it would be like. And
once the water, goes over and actually gets in the cab and gets in the motor, it's.
Here's the problem.
It's over.
Here's the problem. Vehicle. Here's the problem with the new cars. In the old days, if you got water,
they used to float.
No, in the old days they wouldn't float because they were even heavier. In the old days,
too float.
Trust me, I've been there, done that with the old days. In the old days,
excuse me, old days, man.
No, if your car got flooded in the old days, and as long as it didn't go high enough where it went inside the carburetor, what did you do? You got your pressure washer. You took your car down to the car wash. You pulled out the seats. You pulled out the carpeting. You power wash the inside, you put everything back in, and you put another 100,000 miles on it because there was no electronics in them. Nowadays, water gets in them, destroyed because there's a stupid module for the trunk and a module for the windows and a module for this and a module for that. And where's most of it? It's like under the seats of your car. It's in the kick panels of your car, underneath the dash. There's, the computer's down there. And once, you get a foot of water inside the car, throw it away, start over. See, now what's going to happen is all these cars are because now, like all the salvage auction, like Coparts and things like that, you're going to see all these cars and trucks end up down there on Taussig, down at Coparts. And the sad part of it is most of them, to the point where if you physically cleaned them up, they could be pretty good. But yet the electronics, and nowadays with the chip shortages, forget it. You can't get the new modules for them. I mean, it's just, I had something happen the other day. I don't know if I told you, but one of my fancy schmancy battery chargers, which was supposedly waterproof, it wasn't. It got water in it, and it started. And
Was it waterproof or water resistant?
well,
There's a difference.
supposedly it's waterproof, and I left it out on one of my cars with the hood up to charge the battery, and it rained. This is like a couple weeks ago, and it rained. And then when I went out to check it, the battery wasn't charged. And I go, why was that? Well, the battery charger's dead. And it's one of these fancy schmancy microprocessor-controlled battery chargers. So I open it up, and it's got water inside of it. I go, it's supposed to be waterproof, okay? But the problem is it's corroded part of the circuit board, and I got my toothbrush and my contact cleaner, and I worked on it.
And I can see you doing that as well.
It still doesn't work. I'm going like, it's supposed to be waterproof. How it's waterproof? Why has it got water inside of it? You know? So, but see, that's like how they call things. It's water resistant, which means it's not waterproof. It resists water, but sometimes it gives up the ghost and fails. Right?
Sometimes.
It doesn't resist water. So it tries to resist the water, but it doesn't. You know, it puts up a fight for like 2 seconds and then it dies because, well, it's water resistant. It tried to fight off that water for 2 seconds, then it burnt up. Okay, thank you. So anyway.
Feel better?
I'll tell you at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes, you will.
I'll tell you at 10 o'clock this morning.
So what are we going to talk about?
Next break, we're going to talk about, which is going to be the last break. The smartest woman says, I talked about using my toothbrush work on this piece of equipment. She's, did you use a new toothbrush for your teeth? Of course not. You know, I mean, I'm a dude, you know.
Ew.
I'm a tough dude. You know, matter of fact, you know, I will sometimes if I get in the cleaner mode, I'll sometimes take my toothbrush and I will clean out the grout in the shower. You know how like the little, you know, they get the little tiles, the grout there. I'll just put that sucker under the hot water and I'll just brush my teeth. Sometimes I'll clean the toilet. You know, if I want to get the toilet real clean, I'll just brush that thing with my toothbrush.
Okay, stop.
I'll just swish it around the bowl, flush it a few times, then brush my teeth. Simple as that.
You're just being ridiculous.
I am not. I
hope you are.
Hey, real men use their toothbrush to clean the toilet, then they brush their teeth. That's a real man.
Yeah, that's somebody I would want to kiss. Ew. 726. Yuck.
Hold on a minute. It is 7:26, but I gotta find it. No, I can't find it. Hold on a minute. I can't go any further until I find it. Here it is. Okay.
Ew. 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 I did that last night. Ew. 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 Ew.
It is 7:27.
Oh my God.
Here's your forecast for the Westplex.
It is BS.Show. I'm Shelley. She's Brad. Together we make BS. Did you hear how Joe Biden got cured of his COVID-19 stuff?
No, how?
Dr. Fauci came in to the office, and you know where, you know, in the West Wing where the personal headquarters are, you know, where their bedroom is. And Dr. Fauci says, President Biden, what can I do to make you feel better? And President Biden looked at him and said,
they'd actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move, to get me moving.
That's what happened. That's how it cured. Dr. Fauci cured him. He's got the magic breath.
You know, so I know we're supposed to respect if you don't respect the man, respect the position. That's what we said with Trump, and we should do the same thing with Biden.
Doink.
I just personally feel that they're exploiting that man.
You know what Greta says about that?
I don't.
She doesn't like you because when she heard you say that, she just called me up. She said, let me go on the air. I go ahead, Greta. Say what you said about what Shelley just said. Go ahead, Greta.
How dare you?
That's what she says.
Oh, that Greta. I was thinking of a different Greta.
That Greta. Okay. I got a new one I haven't played yet. You know that?
That.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I played already. I played these the other day. You didn't believe it was Bob Ross. Like he says,
because this is your world and you can create anything that you want in it.
Right. Okay. The story, first off, I'll talk about this in a minute. The story was this thing I talked about Stacey Abrams, and she texted out the other day a picture of her like in grade school This is on. She tweeted this out. This is on her Twitter account. Little Miss, future governor of the great state of Georgia. Okay, so everybody's now comparing it to Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton back in 2016 on her birthday tweeted out a picture of her in grade school, and it said, "Happy birthday to this future president." So they're saying that Stacey Abrams has just jinxed herself because that's now the political jinx. That if you say you're going to be, in other words, if you say, hey, I'm going to be the next president, like for example, Eric Greitens buying the domain name Eric Greitens for president, you'll never be president because you've jinxed yourself. So what's
That's actually called positive affirmation, and it's a thing, and they made a movie and a book out of it. It's called The Secret, Brad.
Okay, now here's what's interesting. And you know what? And I don't quite understand the whole Stacey Abrams thing. She's come out with she's put all these different memes when she calls, in one meme, she calls herself Little Miss Trekkie. Another one, she calls herself Little Miss Yale trained tax attorney. Then she tweets out Little Miss High School valedictorian, Little Miss Democrat leader, Little Miss small business owner, and Little Miss one governor for all. Okay, I thought that Miss was, I know someone who told me the story that they went into a store and the dude in the store called them Miss, and this person tried to remove his manhood because you don't call her Miss. Now, if someone called you Miss Shelley or Miss Barr, would you be offended by that?
They do. No, I'm not offended by that.
I don't understand this whole crazy thing. You know, I mean, you can call me whatever the hell you want, you know?
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Right. Yeah. No, because I go through the drive-through. I don't get the whole.
You do.
I don't get the whole crazy thing about, you know, oh, you misgendered me, and you know what? Someone who we know, I'm going like, okay, enough. I saw her Twitter post the other day, and she's got her pronouns on there. I'm going like, okay, give me a break. I'm just so sick and tired.
Yeah, there's several people that have their pronouns up.
But once again, I told you the story about a site that I do business with. They asked me about my gender identity, and I said, dude. Because they had a list of all these. Remember, I read them on the airhead list. You can be this, you can be this, you can be this, you can be this.
Did they have a block for other?
No. And that's when there was a thing that said, you know,
Normally they do, actually.
Contact customer support. And I contacted customer support. And I said, hey, you asked me what my gender identity was, and you gave me a list, and I'm none of those. And the guy replies, well, what are you? I go, I'm a dude. And he goes, well, that doesn't conform to our list of choices. I go, yeah, and the problem with that isn't that what the whole idea is, that if it doesn't conform, you give me my option to call me what I want to call myself? And if I want to call myself a dude, isn't that okay? If I want to call myself a pregnancy...
Did you say this to this person?
On back and forth on email. And then the guy sent me a nasty little note.
He was probably 12, Brad.
I'm sorry, sir, but the term dude does not conform to any of our gender identities. I'm going like, okay. So once again, isn't that the whole point of this thing? That if
with every email, he's sitting there telling his coworkers, "Look at this guy. He wants to call himself dude."
Oh, what's stupid? This guy must be from St. Louis, where they have that famous barbecue. That St. Louis barbecue, right? Everybody in St. Louis knows about St. Louis barbecue. Yeah, right. We all know. What is it? The smartest woman in the world. Here's what the smartest woman in the world says. The smartest woman in the world. Where did I lost it? She says. She's calling me bison breath. Where is it?
She could call you bacteria
St. Louis
breath
barbecue is spare
brushing
ribs.
Your teeth after your commode.
She says St. Louis barbecue is spare ribs. That's what she's saying. Do you believe that?
Spare ribs?
Spare ribs is St. Louis style barbecue.
What's a spare rib?
That's one that is an extra one. You know, if you have 10.
Yeah, I know what.
If you had 10, you only need.
Rib.
You have only 10. You only need 9.
Never mind.
That 10th one's a spare rib.
No.
I'll show you my rib that's sticking out of on my side of my body.
Yeah, you have a spare rib.
I do have a rib that if I take
Most men do have a spare rib.
No, I got a rib that sticks out from the side of my body because it's been broken one too many times and it didn't heal right. Literally. Did I know about that? Did I ever tell you about this?
Oh, and by the way, you're not supposed to bind yourself up when you break a rib.
Well, they didn't, and it grew back the wrong place because I got a rib, my lower rib on my left side sticks out.
Well, I know, but there's a medical reason for not doing that.
Right.
Because when I I evidently had some broken ribs, and I I bound myself up because it hurt, and I was
Boy, there's a good one right there. Hold on a minute.
no, absolutely not. Because
Fifth
I know how you will play it out of context,
Fifth
and then I'll have
break.
to throat punch you.
fifth break. Oh, about 5 minutes in. Okay, I'll pull that one later.
Stop it.
What did you say again?
Nope. That will never happen.
One of these
Ever.
days, I'm going to start on page 1 of my computer, and we're just going to go, okay, here's the BS show for the next hour, okay? Here, I'll give you a taste of what it'd be like. I'll do the first 5. Okay, here we go.
What does the fox say?
Call your doctor right away or get emergency help if you feel faint, confused, very sleepy or very hot, are agitated, acting clumsy, breathing more slowly than normal, or have stiff muscles. This is not a full list of risks and side effects.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
I had prostate problems that were driving me nuts.
That's the first 5. We'll just do a whole hour.
Those were so fun.
Okay.
Because I can remember exactly what time frame as far as our timeline goes between how long we've been on the air.
Okay, you ready for the next 5?
Yes.
Hello. I'm at work and I left a day late.
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Okay, how about the third set of 5? You ready for those?
Okay.
Here we go.
Last one.
I'm as mad as hell.
You have stolen my dreams with your empty words. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying.
Can you imagine being her boyfriend? Hey, Greta. Look here, Greta.
I can't imagine being her sibling.
Let's go to the movies tonight. Oh, we can't do that because if we go in a car, that'll pollute the air. And the movie theater's got air conditioning. And there's...
Let's go on our Segway.
Yes, it is. No segues are new. And the movie theater's got air conditioning, and they have carpeting that emits VOC. Yes, and okay, Greta, let's just go eat a burger somewhere. No, we can't go eat a burger because those cows have created methane. And okay, Greta, let's just stay home and watch TV. Oh no, we can't watch TV because the transmitters for the TV stations are emitting radiation, which is killing ducks. Okay, what are we going to do, Greta? We're going to go to the United States, and we're going to tell everybody how they're a terrible country, and they're all going to die because they're going to kill themselves because they're terrible people. Okay, Greta, thanks. Can you imagine being around her? I mean, Greta, dial it back a few notches, okay? Can you imagine her parents going like, oh my God, we're so proud of our daughter. And then probably in private go, this gal is just raving. She's your daughter. No, she's your daughter. No, she's your daughter. You know what I mean? The mom and dad going back and forth. Well, that's your side of the family. They're all sort of crappy. No, it's your side of the family. She's got your genes. No, she doesn't have my genes. She's got your genes. You talk like that all the time. You're never happy. Right?
Well, personally, I don't necessarily agree with what she says, but
you like the way she says it?
I will give her props for actually saying it and being in that position to say it where she said it.
You know what? Every time I hear her, you know what I do?
Put your hand up to your head.
Every time I hear Greta, I do.
Pretty close. Wilhelm will get you every time.
I'm sorry.
People don't realize that that's significant. I believe that. Really? That's what you're going to end with? It's 7:45, you know.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know where I'm going today? I'm going to Walmart. And you know what?
What?
You know what? I had a guy that counseled me on going to Walmart. You know what he said?
So somebody asked me today, do I need Jesus to go to heaven? Bro, you need Jesus to go to Walmart.
Yeah, that's what he said.
You know what? There is a lot of truth to that.
Okay.
True.
We're going to get out of here early because I have something I got to go do, which at 10 o'clock this morning, I'm either going to be super happy or I'm going to not be so happy. One or the other. It's not going to be anything in between. It's going to either be like, yes, or I'm going to go, oh, darn. Close.
So are you going to let me know, or do I have to sit there and think about it all day?
Well, I'll tell you what happens, okay?
What time?
Well, it starts at 9, so hopefully I should know by about 10 or so.
Okay, I should expect some kind of...
I might know quicker than that. You never know.
I'm sorry?
I said I might know quicker than that. It might be, you're the stupidest guy in the world, Brad. Get out and don't let the door hit you on the way out. Or it could be, wow, you're the smartest guy in the world, Brad. Can you come work for us? Yes, I'll be more than happy to do that. It's going to be one or the other. It's not going to be anything in between. It's going to be either crash and burn or I'm going to be buzzing the tower. One of the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm either going to be.
That was a good analogy.
I'm either going to be, flames coming out as I hit the ground at 400 miles an hour.
Okay, that's enough.
Or I'm going to be flying by the tower, waving at the guy and having the dude spill coffee on himself, right?
Yes.
One of the two.
So, okay, so we're done for the day?
We are done for the day.
Everybody have a great day. It's a Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday, which is like the best day of the week. And Brad?
Yes.
Have a good day. Call me and talk to me, Goose.
Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. You say things like that, which is funny because of the fact that you can't ever understand what it says, but guess what it says?
Talk to me, Goose.
Did you finally hear it?
I did, because you basically just told me what it said.
Talk to me, Goose.
Never understand that.
Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Though he didn't say it like that.
That's from the movie.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Where it's
I could
from.
tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
And this is what Shelley says every time she's on the air with me. She says,
Is there something wrong?
You know who that is, don't you?
No.
That's Charlie.
Is there something wrong?
That's Charlie.
It's not Charlie.
That's the infamous scene in The Hangar where he first realizes the gal he tried to pick up the night before is his new boss.
Yeah, I know the movie, Brad.
She says,
Is there something wrong?
Because he's laughing about the fact that, they were the
ones.
But
that doesn't sound like her.
Your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
That sounds like him.
And this is Charlie in the love scene when do 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 do.
This is going to be complicated.
And he goes to her place, her little $1 million place on the ocean front, which he drives his motorcycle up and he takes a shower and then he comes out of the shower and she looks at him and she says to him with those loving eyes. Charlie looks at Maverick and says,
I need a whole new burger if there's mustard on it. Okay, it's 7:49. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace, and I fly.
Have you heard about Salt River Automotive? Not only are we open for business and ready to serve you, we are sponsors of the BS in the Morning Show on Westplex 107.1. Check us out on Facebook at Salt River Automotive LLC. See you soon.